What is up, everyone? JD here. Got a budget banger in to check out with you all. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we got the Tenable Knives Fenrir in today. Really interesting model. I've never actually handled the full-size premium version. I don't know why I said full size. This is the same size. I've never handled the full decked out premium version from concept, but I was very excited to see that they decided to do a button lock version in their budget brand under Tenable. As you can see, 14C28 in aluminum and aluminum. They got aluminum frag with aluminum bolsters on the opposite end, so I guess that really isn't a bolster, but it's a nice two-tone. Then you got a steel fold over type pocket clip that is reversible. I do like that. You do have flat screws here, so this does carry very nicely in the pocket. Nice thumb studs on here. They did a really good job. And then the button lock is well positioned. Fire, and it's got an excellent detent. They did a great job tuning this one. Love to see when folks can do such a great job with the plunge lock. For me, this is a full knife, meaning I can get I don't know what's my pinky there. I can get a 4-finger grip on here. I might hang off a little bit there, but I'm not really feeling that with the ergonomic lines on this particular one. It does have a forward choil. To me, it is more of a trigger pull choil / sharpening choil. So I can get the finger up there a little bit, but really I'm using it back here. I'm most comfortable here, thumb in the spoon, fingers on the scale, not really leveraging that at all. Got a very pokey tip. This does have a very well done black washed blade. They have coated and uncoated 14C28N blades. They have a variety of finishes for those handle materials, but I really think they actually did a really good job converting this over to their budget line. I'm not sure why they decided to do the button lock, but it is a nice choice, and if you're concerned, it works really, really well. It has remained locked up, no up and down, no side to side. So I decided to take this down into the garage to do a little bit of cutting with it just to see how Tenable's 14C28N is, and it had a great edge going through the catalog paper. It felt very sharp from the factory. Good cutting geometry. It actually sliced very well through the cardboard. Each cut just absolutely shredding through it with minimal resistance and very comfortable to hold while doing that. And the pinch grip works really, really well. I wasn't sure with this type of tip what to expect, but once I got into that pinch grip, very pokey tip, detailed cuts, no issues whatsoever, very comfortable, didn't really feel any hot spots, and the thumb stud for me actually worked to my advantage. It actually gave me a little bit of something extra to grip onto while doing the detailed work. The lock seems to work well. I do have a little bit of grip on mine. Now keep in mind I am still breaking it in, and the disassembly is yet to come. And I have found when I do the disassembly, if there's any dirt, debris, or oil that they coat on here from shipping and I take it off, that does tend to get that to go away without losing any of that solid lockup that you're finding with the knife. You do have ceramic bearings in the pivot. I believe these are also race. They're not washers because they're using steel liners, but they are race cut, meaning that they have a track on the liner. So we'll see if this holds true with the Tenable when we get to that disassembly for this video. But for now, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. All right, guys, so I do have my Militao and my Chavez Redemption Street out here on the table. And as you can see, the Fenrir is a full-sized model, no question about it. Let's go ahead and do a couple more, and then we'll grab the scale and check the weight on this one. All right, guys, we do have the Hyphen XL and the Tarkin here on the table. And as you can see, the Fenrir is actually just a little bit smaller than both, but still very much a full-size knife that does provide plenty of grip for me for 4-finger grip. Let's grab the scale and check the weight on this one. All right, got the scale out, cut on, and just making sure you guys can see that one. The Fenrir coming in at a respectable 4.2 ounces. I say respectable because for my particular version, and there could be variants depending on the outer scale material, but you do have full steel liners. You do have a fairly large steel blade with a lot of steel hardware on here, and then they have the aluminum frag and the aluminum smooth side with the coated on here. So 4.2, considering how much steel and metal materials are involved with this build, I think is really respectable. It's going to carry well, guys. It's not going to be super noticeable in the pocket. It's going to feel good in the hand, giving you a little bit of heft without being too cumbersome to handle. So I do feel, especially once you've got your hand in position, that is a very good weight. I just tried to disengage the lock bar. Let's move the scale out of the way and go ahead and wrap up with final thoughts and impressions. All right, final thoughts and impressions on the Fenrir. I like this one. This is an absolute hit. Great price point. I love the fit and finish on here. Concept fit and finish carrying over to their budget brand under the Tenable label. I love the fact that they definitely kept this one available for righties and lefties. I think sometimes button locks are actually a little bit easier to operate left-handed, and there's no contact concerns with that button for me left-handed. And again, choke up is comfortable left-handed as well. I'm not a primary lefty, but I do use these on occasion left-handed just to make sure that I'm able to convey right-handed, left-handed if there's any differences. That usually mostly applies to whether or not it has a liner lock or a frame lock. Button locks, top liner locks, crossbar locks, etc. really convey very well right to left-handed, and especially those crossbar locks, those I think you get the exact same experience right-handed or left-handed. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10 for reference. That way you can see how this may compare to another knife in a video where I did the scoring on it. I take into consideration price, fit and finish, materials offered, ergos, etc. 14C20 at this price point is very competitive, going to take a fine edge, going to need to be stropped often, especially if you use it hard, but it does strop back easily, and again, you can keep a fine edge going a long time with 14C28N, and also with Nitro V, which is very comparable. I think the construction on here is really cool. You do have a little bit of extra hardware that's a non-factor for that pocket clip, which works well, but to get this finish, I kind of get it. And it is a button lock, which I think this is a frame lock, if I recall correctly, for its premium counterpart. Having said all of that, I am going 6.8. You guys know that 7 is the cap for a budget knife, unless there's some weird thing like it's titanium handles, or maybe it's G10 with a super steel or something like that. That can be a little bit weird on my grading system, but I do think this, and I think the Redention Street Blue Label for me, are probably my two highest, what I would call budget friendly knives. Now the Blue Label is funky because it does have LMAX, which is a super steel, but that's how much I like it, is what I'm trying to drive home here. I really like the Fenrir a bunch. There's a couple of Tenable knives that have really impressed me, and then I think the Kaiser Milital Budget is another one that rated very highly on my scale system. That's just to go to show how much I really like this. This feels much more premium in hand with the coating and how they did the aluminum. You know, I would be hard pressed to say that this isn't a premium feeling knife once you get it in hand and using it. Obviously you can see that it's not, and you can tell with the steel that it's not, but this one definitely gives you an experience that I think punches above its pay grade, so to speak. That's it. Let me know what you think about the Tenable version of the Fenrir. I definitely liked it a bunch. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be appreciated. It does help the channel. And if you're going to be doing any shopping, I am an affiliate with Tenable Knives, and I have a discount code for them down in the description below. So definitely hit those up if you're going to be doing any shopping, especially because it will save you a little bit of money. And when you use the link, it does help the channel. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members. Love you guys. I'm out of here. I hope you have a great week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.